Hey, what's happening? This is Tom, NerdRemix.com. I got a movie for you today called Witch's Brew. I've been waiting to get my hands on this. Writer-director Chris LaMartina sent me the DVD in the mail. He also sent me a nice note with a zombie drawing on it telling me that if I upload it to a torrent site, he will gut me. So, good stuff. He'll find me and gut me. And that's one of the first things you see in this movie is a little disclaimer at the beginning saying, don't be an asshole and upload this to a torrent site. I assure you, I will not. Witch's Brew opens with a Cub Scout selling lemonade door to door for his school fundraiser. And anyway, who opens the door but who they later find out is a witch is Dolores, who's played by Nerd Remix Horror Hottie of the Month, Sarah O'Dassi, who is smoking hot, and hey, I get to see some of her acting chops in this, which is awesome. Actually, this movie has not one but two Horror Hotties of the Month, and Nicolette LaFay is also in this movie in a small role as Iris, and I'll get more on that later. You know, there's not many films you can see more than one Nerd Remix Horror Hottie of the Month in it. This is one of them, possibly Chainsaw Sally Season 1, and probably 2. And Postmortem America, you get 3 Horror Hotties a month in that I know of. I haven't seen it all yet. But anyway, back to Witch's Brew, which is a cool movie. First 5 minutes, you get to see Sarah O'Dassi's magnificent breasts, which, thank you for that. Unfortunately, she dies right away in the form of a cat who gets run over by two friends, Jeff and Preston, who are played respectively by, Jeff is played by Chris McGorry and Preston is played by Gary Kagi Fletcher. And they have run a little microbrew called Slacker Lager. And they run over this cat, and lo and behold, the old witch of the house puts a curse on the beer. And shenanigans happen. I don't want to give too much away because I'm definitely going to recommend this movie. But there's a plot. The plot involves Zoe, Jeff's ex-girlfriend, who is played by, Megan Rippey, and Bruce, a bartender, played by Ryan Thomas. Lots of cool kills in this. Like I said, there's all kinds of cool stuff. There's kind of a reverse Fulci House City of the Living Dead set piece where a guy poops his guts out rather than pukes them out, and there's an Evil Dead thing with some punk kids who drink some beer and they get attacked by vines. There's some really nasty breasts in this that I hope are prosthetic. There's a cock severing, again, I hope it's prosthetic. Sean C. Phillips is in this. He plays Cosmo, the fat guy. You might recognize him from Postmortem America and Chillerama, another movie that I just reviewed. A disabled veteran kicks himself to death. There's a beer bong death. Somebody gets a recorder stuck in their eye, which is fun because I hate those fucking things. My kids have played them for school, and it's the most irritating musical instrument on the face of the earth. I hate them. I encourage everybody to take a recorder and stick it in somebody who's playing its eye. Definitely. Like I said, Nick LaFay is in this. Nicolette LaFay, I probably don't know her well enough to call her Nick. She plays Iris, who does this weird gum sculpture, and later has a killer hairdo. Let me just leave it at that, because I don't want to give too much away. But very cool. You know, it's a low-budget film, you can tell, but surprisingly, it doesn't fall victim to many of the pratfalls of low-budget stuff. The effects are cool, the kills are inventive, and the acting throughout the film is top-notch. And that's something you don't get across the board in a independent movie like this. And like I said, I'm kind of partial to, Nicolette and Ms. O'Dassi, but, that's just me because they're Nerd Remix Horror Hotties of the Month, and they're fantastic, whatever they're in, support their projects. But definitely a cool little film here. Kind of drug a little bit in the last act, and the ending was kind of a bummer because some people that you don't want to die end up dying. I won't give that away. But all in all, a very solid effort, and man, kudos to the cast and crew. They did a really good job on what supposedly was a pretty short budget. So definitely check this out. It's called Witch's Brew. It's coming soon, and it's by writer-director Chris LaMartina, who has done some other stuff. I think I've watched another one of his movies. I can't remember what it is. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, Witch's Brew, I give a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Check it out and support these people's projects, man, because these are the future the people that are the future of horror filmmaking. And Witch's Brew is a lot of fun. And it's one of those movies, a lot of people claim, oh, my shit's a throwback to the 80s. No, this kind of is, because it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of cool stuff and a lot of cool people involved who do a very good job on this film. So 8.5 out of 10, Witch's Brew. I'm Tom, support independent.